Greetings, bloggers, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. If you haven't been following me for a while, my name is Dustin. I'm almost 40 years old. I live on my own. I've been doing that for 6 years. I've had a part-time job for 15 years. I'm living life being autistic. I've been diagnosed at 14 and been living life as autistic and authentic and as with many other challenges along life's way. So without further ado, we'll get into this week's vlog. This week's vlog is talking about, finding my own entertainment. And it's not to be sounding in a dirty way. I hope nobody finds it that way. But there's when you're living on your own and this has been a long, I guess, issue for me being autistic, but I guess being well now, as if you followed my journey for this long, I've been writing my blog for about 4 years now. And now I'm well enough to know that I need to find my own entertainment, something to do when without having to rely on others. Even though friends isn't in the cards for me right now. It's winter, you're indoors, you have a lot going on in life. It can be hard to balance that loneliness and that isolation when, instead of constantly relying on others for things to do. So, what does that look like for me? Well, I'm still figuring that out and what that brings to me and what that looks like, but it's slowly getting better. I wish it would be, nothing is, instant. I'm trying to start the new year off on a good start. I got cable TV this year says to start off as a nice little Christmas present to myself. And while it's not all the bells and whistles, it is enough to keep me entertained. And hopefully, I hope it keeps the momentum going of feeling good all year when things are challenging, and it can be easy to want to fall asleep, which puts me into a trigger of not caring for my mental health in the way that I need to. I'm hoping to do better in this year, but with as far as my mental health, and I hope that having cable TV in some regard will help eliminate some of the issues I'm having. Granted, part of that is on my part to do other things, but hopefully, that is just one tool in the toolbox that we have to help bring back uh, some sort of feeling or some sort of understanding of where that needs to be and where, because isolation and being alone and finding what you're going to do with that alone time when you do live on your own is something that you need to work on. And if you're not been guided as an autistic person or any person with the challenges, it can be hard. It can be very challenging. You can not care for yourself. You can isolate and get really upset and really panicky. But, I choose to do the best that I can do. And I think doing the best that I can do, I realize I need to work at things and be more cognizant of things that I need to do to better my mental health and take care of me more as time goes on. And eventually, when spring breaks and the weather breaks and I can do more to better my mental health and go out and do things, I will do that. But for right now, cable TV is what I need. I need one of the things that I need, along with many other things that I may find. It's a process, and you have to learn when you're finding things for coping or self-care or getting those negative thoughts away, which is one of the issues that I have when I'm dealing with being alone. I have a lot of echolalia, and which is scripting and some scripting, but it's not in a healthy way because of intrusive thoughts that are no longer valid, but are not in my control either. And even though they are not valid, and we're looking into things being what they are in the new year, and things that have changed very much in the past 6 months or since the last big change, but I'm ready to move on, and I think if I can be ready to put the issues that I've been experiencing at rest and working at bettering my mental health by working at keeping the thoughts at bay as best as I can, it's in my court to do, and I have to do what I need to do to be well. And even if that is finding things that I need for me to be helpful, then so be it. And there should be no shame in doing that. There should be no shame in anything like that. That's just how life is, and I have to accept that for what it is. And part of it is I have to do the work too. I can't just blatantly say that, oh, I've done nothing and ran out of ideas. I have to at least try things to see if they will work and how they'll work and what they'll do. But, that's a process. And, it's the same with coping skills. When you're looking for coping skills to do, you have to see what works for you and eliminate each one as time goes, which one that is healthy for you, which one is not healthy for you. And everything that you do to care for your mental health, if whether it's coping skills or things to take void of or self-care, they're all a part of a process that you have to find what's good and what's bad and what works for you. It's not an easy, okay, here's some coping skills. They're going to instantly solve your problems. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to take time, and you have to realize that it does take time for you to work and find those things, and find those things to combat isolation. And it's hard now, and it's going to be harder for me as time progresses. And I need to see that, but part of me has to realize that I have to take the initiative to at least try and do something to see if I actually want to do it before, actually doing it. Now, granted, you may say, well, I go to do a program, I go to work. Well, those are part of things, but they don't fill the void complete 100%. So you need to find what fills that void completely for you. And, I don't do well with just sitting around, just sitting and staring or anything like that. I have to keep my mind occupied, or those thoughts, those negative scripts and echolalia and those intrusive thoughts come around and they're not healthy, and they can really spin me into a cycle that is very unhealthy, and I want to be angry and I want to take that anger out on others, and it can be really, really hard to get myself out of a loop that I'm in, and I don't deserve that. Nobody else deserves that. And a lot of what I think about isn't even true, to be honest with you. So it is a process that takes time. And slowly as the new year begins, I'm trying to work on that among other things. But, it's we're not gonna have if you can't carry what you have in 2024 into 2025 if it's not helping you. And that's more of my thing this year. I don't make resolutions, I don't use words, but in honesty, it's what I can't carry into 2025 what hasn't worked in 2024. I have to do what's better for me, because and if it is working at getting these thoughts and scripts and these behaviors out of the way, then that's more of what I have to do. But I have to be the one to take initiative to do it. I have to be the one that wants to do it, whether it's losing weight or whatever it may be. It's got to be up to me to make those decisions. It can't be anybody else that has to make those decisions. I have to be the driving force behind making those decisions. And as hard as that can be, it is challenging and hard, but I know I have to. And it can be hard to get started. Everything's hard for me to get started. But once I do it, I feel pretty comfortable and pretty confident. And if I just sit along and pay attention and just do it, I'm okay. But it's just that initial opening part to the process that makes it hard. And it can be hard, and I can fight it sometimes. But in the end, I know it's the best thing that I can do. Fighting that isolation and just fighting, the winter blues or the seasonal affective disorder. They are hard in their own very little ways, but I can find a way to work around them. And it is fixing food, or it is doing one thing or another. and working around those things so that they work out for themselves. They have to work out in their best ways, or they're not going to work at all. So that's all about what I wanted to say today. I didn't want to keep it too long because I want to try to keep myself busy and not so much delved into this vlog this week. It's been a busy week. It's been getting back on track. It's been a busy new year, and I'm hoping to keep the momentum going. So if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to this video and the channel. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, be sure to like me or follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Pinterest. That handle is Dustin's Dynasty. I'm on the web. That web address is www.dustinsdynastyusa.com. And lastly, I have a link tree with all the links included, and that address is linktree/Dustin's Dynasty. Again, I want to thank you for following. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. Stay warm, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.